Hello, my name is Joey Hoover, and today I'll be showing you how to replace a flat tire. To do this, you will need really just 3 tools. All 3 tools will come with your car. You're going to need a jack. This is an extension that you connect to the jack that you can crank it up easier. And then you'll need a lug wrench. You won't need any more of these. You may need, depending on how old your car is, some sort of WD-40 type oil just to loosen up the bolts. But besides these 3 tools, you won't need anything else. So it's fairly simple. Some of you may be wondering, why do I need to know how to change a flat tire? You guys need to know how to change a flat tire because you guys are driving a lot because you're in college, you have jobs, which means you have a high chance of getting a flat tire because there could be even just a nail on the road, a rock could hit a big enough hole so where air start leaking out, and before you know it, you have a flat tire and you need to change it. So now, let's go change our flat tire. The first step in replacing your tire is going to be pulling out the spare tire. In most smaller vehicles, they're going to be underneath the floorboard in the back, and you're just going to unscrew the screw that's holding it in, pull the screw out, and then pull the spare tire out. The next step in replacing your tire is going to be loosening up your bolts so that way, because once you get it up into the air, when the tire can spin freely, you're not going to be able to get the bolts loosened. So just take your lug wrench, loosen them up so where they're finger tight. So that way, once you do get the car up, you'll be able to just unscrew them by hand. The next step is going to be taking your jack, which all cars are going to come with a jack. You're going to slide it under. Each vehicle has 4 jack points. It's going to be right by the tires. So in the back, they're going to be right here, and in the front, they're going to be right here. So you're just going to slide your jack underneath. Make sure you line it up with your jack point. And make sure your jack is on as flat as ground as possible, because this whole corner is going to be resting on the jack. Then what I usually do is just raise it with my hand just so I can hold it steady until it starts raising up the car, and then you can use the attachment to really start lifting the car. Once you have the tire in the air so where you can spin it freely without hitting the ground, then you're going to loosen up and just take off the bolts the rest of the way, and then set them off to the side somewhere where you're going to remember where they are and you don't lose them. The next step is going to be taking off your old tire. You're just going to wheel it off to the side and you can just set it down. And then take your new tire, your spare tire, and line up these 4 screws with the holes on the tire. You're just going to slide it on and then start screwing in your bolts. So when you go to screw on your bolts, you're going to make sure you screw them on the different corners, opposite corners. So if you start screwing on this one, screw it to about finger tight, then do the opposite corner. This will help the tire get on tight evenly, so that way it's not off balance. So once you have all your bolts on about finger tight, then you're going to let down the car. At this point, you can just take out the jack because you're not going to need that anymore. So then you get your lug wrench, and this is when you're going to really tighten all your bolts. You're not gonna wanna do them too tight because you don't wanna strip them, but right about there where you're not really forcing it, but it's really tight. Because if you really force it, you're gonna strip it and then you're never gonna be able to get it off next time. Once you have all 4 bolts on nice and tight, your car is ready to go, and you're gonna wanna go and get a new tire as soon as possible because these spare tires aren't rated for very many miles. So once you're done with that, just put away your tools and you have your new tire.